Monster High is a beloved IP by Mattel, but there are some suspicions that their Corpse Bride Monster High doll's box might have Gen AI on it. It's a little bit hard to tell because this is like somebody's photograph of the Monster High box. But yeah, one of the indicators is the funky looking birds. These birds, for the most part, look pretty normal. This one is a bit odd. Little things that are off, you could argue possibly it's like user error, something, a mistake. This one, and then this chunk here, but it looks like two birds kind of accidentally overlapping over each other. You could argue some artists wouldn't make a mistake like this. Like, they would choose to move the bird above, like up a little bit more so they're not directly overlapping. Some people in the comment section were saying, oh, it's AI because the trees are too uniform. This one, I'm trying to give benefit of doubt, which is why I'm talking the way I am. Benefit of doubt, possibly. The artist was, being a little lazy, like smart lazy, drew one tree, made it into a stamp brush, and just stamped it across and called it a day. Definitely a possibility. A lot of webtoon artists do that. It's not lazy, it's just efficient. The lighting looks pretty accurate, right? We have the moon here. The shadows for the bridge is falling correctly to this side here. AI tends to fudge the shadows up real bad a lot of times. Yeah, the church, if there's any funky details, it's again hard because this is somebody's photo of the box. And it's not like I have the box just to like look at here. There is a bit of a funky detail with the trim of the church here because the doorway kind of collapses inwards. Do you see the framing of the doorway? How it's super narrow on this side and then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker, and it's uneven because it's thicker on the right side than it is on the left. And the right side doesn't have that sort of like narrowing at the bottom that you find on the left side of the church here. The dividers in the middle of the church here are like even. For the most part, the detailing on the spokes look pretty accurate. This one here is a bit funny because it looks like somebody kneeling. You see this? It's so small. But this like spire on the back of the church has a bend on the bottom. This is what I was talking about with the church, right? It is looking a little funky because the bottom here of the framing is really thin, but that isn't featured on the right side. This is not like a feature of a church that would be asymmetrical, right? The doorway like this. And then here, the spires in the front make total sense, but this spire in the back, you see how it has like a bend here? There's like a triangulation at the bottom here. And then this is what I was talking about by the birds. All these birds look completely normal, except this one looks like a stingray. And then these two are kind of weirdly collapsed on each other. Could be just like an error, right? Which is like artist error totally happens. The spiraling of the stained glass window looks, for the most part, pretty normal. The moon looks normal. Yeah, like the bricks are supposed to be asymmetrical, so in sizing. So I don't really see too much off with the brickwork. There's just like a little bit of brickwork that doesn't line up, like here it like conveniently falls, the seam of the brick falls right in the shadow, and there's like a line here. It just could be like artist error again because we're looking like so closely in the details here. It could be an artistic style. We do have some crumpling of this detail here. Yeah, the details on the glass. Niara, I think they maybe used an AI resize tool for better quality. That definitely could be possible, right? Which is why you get some inconsistencies that look a bit funny, but that for the most part, most of the art looks reasonably legitimate, right? Like again, this is a photo that I'm zooming into. So we don't even have the real digital image to look at. So it's harder to determine when you don't have like a full thing. Final thing I thought interesting was this. This looks like it should be the end of the bridge, right? The bridge has this concrete detailing with a bit of a triangular hut on it, except it's featured so far out. The bridge can't possibly end here. Otherwise we would see some sort of brickwork. So it's a bit interesting. The end of the bridge definitely shouldn't be there. It's a little hard to tell. It's kind of up in the air. It's a bit suspicious for sure. Like this crumpling of the stained glass window is pretty interesting. And then we have the skeleton of a creature here with kind of like this triangular bone that just juts out. It's not a wing or anything. It just juts out and then comes back in. Not a shoulder blade or anything. Draculaura here has 3 fingers, but it could be the angle. Like this one's probably legit. It's just a photo. It's probably like some sort of angle or something. It's just hard to see because it's a photo of a photo. The image is printed on a box and then we have a photo of the box. A bit suspicious because the owner of Monster High is Mattel, who also owns Barbie. And then Mattel posted this onto their corporate page. Mattel and OpenAI announced strategic collaboration, June 12th to 2025. Mattel, leading global toy and family entertainment company and owner of one of the most iconic brand portfolios in the world, and OpenAI today announced a strategic collaboration to support AI-powered products and experiences based on Mattel's brands. By using OpenAI's technology, Mattel will bring the magic of AI to age-appropriate play experiences with an emphasis on innovation, privacy, and safety. Brad Lightcap, chief operating officer at OpenAI, said, quote, "We're pleased to work with Mattel as it moves to introduce thoughtful AI-powered experiences and products into its iconic brands, while also providing its employees the benefit of ChatGPT. With OpenAI, Mattel has access to an advanced set of AI capabilities alongside new tools to enable productivity, creativity, and company-wide transformation at scale," end quote. And Mattel owns Barbie, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price, American Girl, Thomas and Friends, Uno, Masters of the Universe, Matchbox, Monster High, Mega, and Polly Pockets. So that's one of the other things when it comes to looking at whether, oh, is this AI, is this not AI? Like, how does the company itself align with AI? And in this case, the company Mattel, who owns Monster High, has a very AI forward mindset. They have announced this partnership with OpenAI. So it wouldn't be too far of a stretch, honestly, to assume that possibly, right, that if there is a suspicion of AI, that it could likely potentially be true. There's already also talks about how AI have already been incorporated into Barbie, which is one of Mattel's IP that they own. This was actually posted on my birthday last year. How Mattel is using AI to bring the next Barbie box to life, written by Grace Snelling for fastcompany.com. And it basically says that Chris Down, Mattel's chief design officer, began offering the web version of Firefly to product designers across all its subsidiary brands last year as a tool to help create compelling packaging. Now, this one's a bit different because Firefly is trained only on stock images for which Adobe already holds the rights, as well as on openly licensed content in public domain, made it safer for Mattel, according to Down. As of 2024, they said, no Mattel designer is required to use Firefly. Some are actively choosing to use it. Also, kind of interesting, in the Barbie world, they're also already incorporating AI in it as well. So, wouldn't be too far of a stretch to see that, hey, potentially there could have been some AI used in this packaging. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's AI? Do you think it is legitimate? What are your thoughts after finding out Mattel's partnership with OpenAI? Because that one is unexpected and very interesting. AI generated images have been around for a minute now, but now there's a lawsuit involved. This is a post to threads by Culture Crave 2 days ago, where it reads, Warner Bros. Is suing AI company Midjourney. Midjourney generates AI images for alleged copyright infringement. The lawsuit cites multiple AI generated examples of Batman and other iconic characters. Warner Brothers is seeking $150,000 per infringed work. They argued generating copyrighted characters is a clear draw for Midjourney users. It is true. People will go specifically to try to generate copyrighted works and works from other IPs and other artists. Left is an example of Midjourney's output of Batman, screen cap from The Dark Knight. Right is the official poster. Midjourney is blatantly and purposefully infringing copyrighted works, and we filed this suit to protect our content, our partners, and our investments. So here you can see the AI Batman with like the chest plate that doesn't even match up, but look at the posing, etc. And like the vibe looks so similar to the official piece. But yeah, look at the belting for the AI one. The belting is all off, the chest plate doesn't match up left to right. The bat isn't even a bat. Like this is not a bat wing on this side. And people have their 2 cents in the comments. A commenter says, "About effing time we get the big boys in here to sue these Fs to oblivion. Legit no idea why it took them this long to realize what's happening." Another commenter says, "All AI generated content is copyright infringement. Literally using assets created by real humans and algorithms to reproduce a composite simulation of an image based on that database. Damn, who could have predicted this? The art stealing machine is being sued. What a strange and unpredictable world we live in." This is the actual lawsuit, where Warner Bros. Entertainment Inc. sues Midjourney. So it cites Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Bugs Bunny, and Scooby-Doo are some of the most popular fiction creators, and that only Warner Bros. Has the right under US copyright law to build a business around reproducing derivative works. And 2, Midjourney thinks it's above the law. It sells a commercial subscription service powered by AI to develop illegal copies of Warner Bros. Copyrighted works. Point 5, this is interesting. Other AI image and video generating services have instituted copyright protection measures that recognize and protect the rights of content creators like Warner Bros. Discovery. These readily available measures can be implemented in multiple ways: by excluding Warner Bros. Discovery's copyrighted works from developing and trading the AI software, and 2, rejecting prompts that request the display or download of Warner Bros. Discovery copyrighted characters. And 3, by using technology to screen for infringing image outputs, both image and videos. So here they put in an example of how you can generate Superman using Midjourney, and that you can also generate Batman using Midjourney, and Wonder Woman and other Warner Bros. IP. Wow, they also write that if you put a generic comic book superhero battle prompt, it also generates Batman, Superman, and Warner Bros. IP. Leave Tweety Bird out of this. The lawsuit also cites that Midjourney used Warner Bros. Copyrighted characters to market and promote its service. Okay, this is stuff about the venue. It also cites that Midjourney targets artists and is involved in commercial art projects and has caused harm that has been foreseeably suffered in this district during the relative time period. So here's some more history about Midjourney. Midjourney subscription system. Wow. This is so interesting. So it's a lot of like examples of like how you generate copyrighted images. Wow. Yeah. Basically it goes on and on and on, but you can basically generate like everything. Midjourney was trained to output infringing content. So this cites that without Warner Bros. Permission, Midjourney has aggregated and copied Warner Bros.' copyrighted work to train and develop Midjourney, which is very believable because otherwise how could they generate Superman to such a close degree? What I'm really curious about is what a potential result of this would be, as in a potential result of this lawsuit. Because like they're arguing basically in like US copyright law that the Warner Bros.' copyright has been infringed upon. And you could really argue that's true, right? Because like Superman has very prominent iconography and Midjourney can generate stuff with this prominent iconography. I wonder how this would expand to artists because like I don't know if this would mean that artists could then use something like this to be like, oh well, you're trained off my art style, etc. The copyright of an art style specifically would be really interesting to talk about. If this were to win in the favor of Warner Bros., we could argue that potentially in the future this could be something that could protect artists that have like known IP that belongs to them. Like if you have a webtoon or a webcomic or an animation series that you indie produced, maybe that could be something that could be protected under the results of this lawsuit. But then for artists that don't have a specific art style, how could you protect yourself in this case? Hopefully this wins in Warner Bros. Favor. I think it'll be good for artists in this case. On a complete side note though, I just think this is really interesting because Warner Bros. Allegedly used AI in a video that they posted that has now been deleted. It was a little animated promo that they posted to their YouTube channel that was promoting their new movie called Weapons, which looks something like this, right? That's just a clip out of it. I talk more about it in this YouTube video. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll have a link down below. But this is most definitely AI. Come on, like look. Oh shoot, that's too many skips. What is happening with the kid's leg? What is this? Come on, this is a kid's drawing. A human artist, if they were to animate a frame by frame animation of a sleepy kid getting out of a bed, wouldn't have his leg coming out of the blanket itself like this. Also, the kid's left arm just disappears here for absolutely no reason. So anyways, I personally think that in this animated video promo that AI was used in the process of the production because the animation looks real wonky. I just think it's funny that Warner Bros. Discovery, which is their full name, is now suing Midjourney for AI because of the fact that they have also used AI in their process and they've expressed the fact that they're like pro AI, or at least like some people that work at Warner Bros. Have expressed that. So I guess it's one of those like do unto thee but not unto me type situation where like, yeah, AI is great and they're totally okay with using AI, but AI can't steal their IP to use in their generative processes. I just think that's interesting. What are your thoughts on the Warner Bros. Situation and them suing Midjourney and the fact that they have allegedly used AI in the past? Would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I sell art there for streamers and creators like emotes, overlays, and stuff. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. Hope to catch you guys there or in another video. Peace.